Hi. So, what I want to talk about now is a fundamental piece of thinking that relates to conflict and conflict situations. And this is something called positions and interests. So I'm going to take a few minutes to explain this, hopefully in quite simple terms, but it's a key piece of thinking, I think, in every single conflict situation. What happens for most of us in a conflict situation is that we end up, and sometimes just in day-to-day life, is that we say stuff. We say stuff that is a solution to a situation that we can see. So I might look around at this room and I might go, I have to paint it yellow. So painting it yellow is a position. It's a positional statement. In a work situation, I might say, that person has to be sacked. That's a positional statement. I might say, we have to get to the airport for 11. That's a positional statement. Okay? There are always things that rest underneath those positional statements. And as conflict workers, we need to be alert to the thing that rests underneath. So, in the case of the room, somebody says it has to be painted yellow. My question might be, okay, paint it yellow. Tell me, if you paint it yellow, what will that give you? And perhaps the person goes, they look around and they go, I think it'll make it a much lighter room. So light is their interest. What they're looking for is a light room. Their positional solution to a light room is to paint it yellow. Doesn't mean it's the only solution, it's a solution to an underlying interest. If I'm saying we have to be at the airport by 11, my interest is probably timeliness, not missing a flight. You know, if it's getting to a train station, not missing a train. I want to be there in good time. Because my need is, and my need often sits below my interest, my need is to feel relaxed. So if my need is to be relaxed, for me, that might mean arriving early at the station or at the airport in order to be in plenty of time. The difficulty is that what comes out of my mouth is my position. We have to be at the airport by 11. We have to be at the station by 11. And if I'm saying that to somebody else, they may not have a fruitful response to me saying we have to be there at 11. Conversely, if I state my interest, I might get a different response. So my interest might be, I might need to state my interest by saying, in order for me to be relaxed making this journey, I'd really like it if we can get to the station, the airport, by 11 o'clock, because I think if we get there later, I'll start to get a little bit tense, and I think for all of our well-being, it would be great if we got there by 11. You may not get a yes to that, but actually what you've done in that situation is you've stated your underlying interest rather than just the position. This obviously works in both directions. It works from us. It's useful if we can express our interests directly. It also works to us, that inevitably the people around us at work, in our personal lives, in our families, in our communities, will express their positions to us. And sometimes it's fine. They express their position and we just get on and we act. Somebody says, get out of the way, and we get out of the way. But there are other times where when somebody expresses a position to us, we might need to just do a little bit of thinking which goes, what's underneath that position? Their interest is underneath that position. And take a moment to explore with them what it is that they're trying to achieve by meeting that particular position. I also want to add briefly to this, that underneath our interests are our fundamental needs, our safety needs, our security needs, belonging, well-being, our ability to develop, our Maslow-type needs, for those of you that are familiar with Maslow. So underneath our interests are our needs, and our position is often our attempt to try and meet our need. The difficulty is, when we say to position, we often don't know what our underlying need is, and certainly or our interest. And so part of the issue as conflict workers is supporting ourselves and others to just dig under the surface of those positional statements, to explore the interests and to try and to explore the needs. More on this in relationship to emotions soon. That's it for now.